This is Mary Flower again, and about 15 years ago, my husband had a business over about 3 hours drive from our home that he had for a couple years. And during that time, I would take these pieces of velvet, were approximately 11 by 11, and I would make a crazy quilt to and from traveling there. And I just wanted to show this. This is about 15 years old. I made 144 of these, and I was going to make them into one big quilt, which would have been a queen or a king size. And instead, I decided to break them up into sections to give to my children as gifts. I have this one hanging here that belongs to my son, and he's letting me borrow it so I can show you. But I'll just go over this, and you can see the hand stitching. Gina over at the Rebookery was talking about, hand stitching and different things, and it made me think of this quilt that almost 150 of these quilt blocks about 15 years ago, and I just thought maybe it'd be fun to show you. I'll try and get some close-up on it. And I put some loops at the top. So my son has this one hanging in his house, and he really likes it. He says, "Mom, make sure you bring it back." And so I just took pieces of everything from my sewing room and just threw them in a bag while I was traveling, and different kinds of embroidery floss, and I just made these crazy, crazy quilts. And I'll show you what I did with one of them because my daughter didn't have a lot of room. So I'll show you here in just a minute after I've showed you all of the quilt blocks. There's something about velvet that it's like a lot of black velvet too, but I used other kinds. And I just used old dresses and different things, and I really liked the way it turned out. There we go. I'll go back on it a little bit again and show you. So I'm going to pause this, and I will show you the book I made. So this is I took the quilt blocks that I used for my daughter, and I decided to make her like a crazy quilt book with and it is kind of crazy, and it has, I bound it with all these fibers here, and I'll see if I can show you here at the place I usually do my videos, and we'll go and I'll show you what they look like here. And each one, took a couple hours maybe worth of work, depending on how much work it was and what I had to sew on, and it's just beautiful on velvet. And I added, in hers, I sewed two of them together, as you can see, and I added a lot, either fibers or old doilies and things like that in between. And I would add buttons and fun things on it that I had that I took with me. I basically had a big bag, threw a lot of stuff in it, and took off it, and see, I put an edge on here, and when I took off, I would just work on these quilt blocks. And my daughter, she did thank me for making mine into a little book, because she didn't have a lot of room to hang things. And she likes it anyway, because my granddaughter likes to play with this and look and ooh and ah over it. She is quite visual, just like her grandma. So I have all sorts of fun edges. And I think it is upside down because there's her name right there. But that's okay. We'll show it. We'll do it this way. And we'll go this way. So actually, this is the front. I had it upside down, but you can't tell. So anyway, I just wanted to show that to you and show you how fun it was with all the fibers and And this was a really fun project. It actually, to do that, it took me actually 8 years to do it, because the only time I worked on it was when I was traveling to and from for this business. It was a shed business that was about a 3-hour drive from our home. He doesn't have it anymore. He sold that off. And so anyway, just wanted to show you how pretty that turned out. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a comment. That'd be great. Thanks. Bye.